Good morning, everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to this Friday's Tech and Tell. My name is Anne Marie Molinari Sanders. Our guest presenter today is Mr. Mario Ortiz, who is from Brownsville ISD Adult Continuing Education Program known as ACE. And today, Mario will be presenting on CourseSites Part 2. I'm so excited to welcome back Mario Ortiz to the Tech and Tell webinar series. Absolutely a gem of a presenter with a great deal of talent. So stay tuned for more from Mario in the future. And let's hear a little bit about Mario. Mario was born and raised in Mexico. He came to the United States when he was 15 years old. He is the first of his family, su familia, to attend college. He has a Master of Education in Educational Technology. He taught second and fourth grade at Brownsville ISD and worked as a part-time reading instructor at Texas Southmost College. He also worked at Texas Southmost College for 2 years as the Director of Technology and Curriculum Innovation. Currently, he works for Brownsville ISD in the Adult Continuing Education Department, or ACE, as the Microsoft Office Specialist Instructor. Mario, you are on and welcome.
Thank you, Miss Anne Marie. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Let me go ahead and just open my camera just so people can, I guess, make a connection there with the name and the face. Let me go ahead and, here I am. Nice to meet all of you. And I'm so glad that everybody's here. I know that it's summer and we have plenty of things to do, but we also want to get ready, right? We want to get ready for the coming school year. And so I just want to say, first of all, thank you for Ms. Anne Marie for giving me once more the opportunity to share some of the technology tools that I use in my class with my students, technology tools that I have helped or that have helped me better. Start a new school year. Help me prepare with materials, documents, and all those resources that we need to start a new school year. In today's presentation, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about CourseSites. CourseSites, it's a free version of Blackboard. Some of you might be familiar with CourseSites. Some of you might not. It's a learning management system. A learning management system that I have used for quite some time, where I have all the resources that I use with my students in what I call a one-stop place, where my students can have access to class materials such as assignments, documents, links, and everything in one place. I hope that the information that I'm going to share today helps you prepare for the coming school year and for years to come. I have divided the presentation into two parts. Last week on Friday, I did part one, where I talked about the original courses. Today, this is part two, and I'm going to talk about the ultra courses. Now, we want to know, did you attend part one? And for those of you that were here last week, what would you like to see again? Is there something that you have questions on? I know that very, very close to the end of the presentation, there were like 2 questions. How do we copy a course? If you already have the 10 courses and you already created one course, how do you copy that course? And then there was another question. How do you export if you have an account with Canvas, let's say? How can you export a course from CourseSites to Canvas? And the answer is yes, and I can go over that information. But are there any other questions? I can go ahead and start with those 2 questions for right now.
Let's give an opportunity for people to put in the chat pod, and then we'll see. So far, let's see here. Okay, how do you set up your own course, Christy? That was Christy's question.
Very good.
And, let's see if there's any other. We can start with that one, I guess. And then you can show the cloning maybe at the end, since we have new people.
Yes.
Maybe. Okay, so one question so far.
So the question is, how do you set up your course in CourseSites? Is that how to register and create the account, or just the course? If it's just the course, so once you create your account, with CourseSites, you're gonna have this, okay? These are your courses. Last week, we were talking about the original courses. And if you notice over here where I am pointing to, it starts with number 7, number 8, number 9, 10, and 11. But the actual name is Original Course 1, Original Course 2, 3, 4, and 5. You get 5 courses. If you are playing or building your content using one of the original courses, let me go ahead and open one that doesn't have anything, that is blank or empty, just a shell. When you open that course and you come to content, the screen is gonna look like this. And so you're gonna start building. First, you're gonna build folders. And then within those folders, you're gonna be building content. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna come right here to where it says build content. You're gonna point to it and you're gonna see this menu. In this menu, one of the options, if you notice right here, it says content folder. And so you click on content folder, and then that's gonna bring you to this window. Here, you just give the name of the folder. Let's say that you wanna name this folder writing, and then you don't have to do anything else. The only thing here, if you notice where it says standard options, it says permit users to view this content. So if you're building this folder for your class, if you don't have students right now, you can leave it as open with the yes option here, because you don't have any students. If you already have students, if you have already created a class and you have folders, you might want to check no here, so your students cannot see what you are just barely building. Okay, but because you don't have students right now, let's pretend that we don't have students, we'll leave it as yes. And then we just need to click over here at the bottom, right-hand side bottom, submit, and that's it. You have created a folder. Now you need to create content. And to create content, you need to open that folder. So you're gonna click right here on the name of the folder. You're gonna see the same screen as we saw before when we were building the folder. And then an easy way to do this, let's say that you are you use a web page with your students, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and use one that I use with my students since I teach Microsoft Office. They need to become familiar with the keyboard. So I use this web page right here that I'm about to share with you. This one is typing.com. You can use any page that you are using, okay, with your students. And so you want to have it open, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, so we're building a link. If you notice, when you point to build content, there's an option here that says web link. So I'm going to click on this one, web link, and then you're going to give it a name to that link. In my case, I'm going to type typing. Okay, and then down here, very important, you need to copy the URL. If you're not familiar with the URL, if I come back to my page, my typing page, my URL is going to be right here. Okay, but instead of typing just typing.com, which is what you see here, there's actually some characters behind this, okay? So the best way to copy a link, okay, a URL, is to right-click on it and then select copy. And I'm gonna show you why. So I select copy, and I come back to where I want to paste my link. I right-click, and I click paste. And notice, we did not see HTTPS, okay? We did not see this information, www, but that's part of the page. If we don't type that information here, when you click submit, and I'm gonna do that, that's it for creating the link. If I click here, but I don't copy the HTTPS, that information, the link is not going to work. So to be on the safe side, it's better to just right-click on the link of that page that you want to link to your CourseSites content. And let me go ahead and close the one that I have open so that way you can see how it works. Okay, let me see. So this is the link that we created. Okay, and I click on it, and it connects me straight to that web page. So that's how you create a folder and how you create a link, depending on what you want to link that course site text to, okay? So I hope I have answered that question. Please let me know, and if not, I can.
I will look in the chat pod to see. And yes, Eduardo says awesome review. And so I think we can keep going with starting now with ultra sites.
Okay, very good. And then at the end, I'll come back and I'll show you how to copy a course and export a course from the original courses. And let me see. Oh, the next question, and this is the last question for my audience. What is your role in adult education? Teacher, administrator? If you can please type that information in the chat, please.
Teacher, coordinator, teacher, lots of teachers. Lots of teachers. We have all the
Very
boots
good.
on the ground foot soldiers here, coordinators, instructors, teacher. Yep, mostly teachers.
Very good, very good. Because I think this is going to help you organize your materials, everything online, and it will help you better prepare for the new school year. And like I mentioned before, for years to come. So for those of you that were not here on Friday, let me give you a quick review on this. And let's talk a little bit about the first day of class. Now, some of you might feel ready and under control. Others might feel like about the picture that I'm about to share with you, right? That first day of class, we're like, oh my God, where are my copies? Where's everything? I need to search those filing cabinets, right? Well, what if I tell you that there's a simple formula that I have applied for quite some time and it has helped me a lot? This formula right here, what am I talking about? I am talking about CourseSites. And you're probably wondering, what is CourseSites? Well, CourseSites is basically what it is. It's an online platform where you can set up your classes, you can post materials, course materials, communicate with students, encourage collaboration, monitor performance, manage grades, and attendance. Something that I mentioned last week is attendance, because the system has been designed for colleges and universities. Their attendance works a little bit different than ours. Their attendance only has the option for present, tardy, or absent. Okay, but it might help you out. Now, when you create the account with CourseSites, how many courses can you set up with CourseSites? CourseSites will give you 10 courses, or let me clarify that, 10 course shells, meaning that they are empty, like the class or the course that I was just sharing with you. Those 10 courses will be divided into 5 original courses and 5 ultra courses. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 5 ultra courses. Each course is limited to 1 gigabyte. So you get 10 gigabytes in your account. And then there is a demo course included. So you can see how a class is already built with content. And it helps you, okay? It guides you throughout the steps too. This is a picture of your courses once you log in, once you create your account. This is how it's going to look. This is just a picture. You will have ultra courses, and then you will have original courses. Okay, now the objectives for this presentation. My objectives here are very simple. I want to help you create an account. And once you create the account, we're going to explore the ultra course. We're going to create folders. We're going to add content to the folders, links, and assignments. And once we create this, then we're going to navigate as a student. So we can view this from the student perspective. We can see the ultra course, the folders, content, assignments, and upload assignments. Okay, what do we need, Ortiz or Mario? What do we need to create this, the account, and set up our courses? All you need is a computer and internet access, and we're going to create an account. How do we create an account? The first thing that you need to do is you need to go to CourseSites, CourseSites.com. You might want to write it down, because in a couple of minutes, I'm going to give you access. Those of you that were not here last week with us, I'm going to give you access so you can go to CourseSites and you can create the account. I'm going to show you how to create the account. So once you go to CourseSites.com, okay, you're going to see a welcome page. Welcome to CourseSites. And because we are creating the account, we need to register. And we're going to click right here where you see register. Once you have the account, if you already have an account, you don't have to click on register. You will just click here where it says sign in, And that's gonna get you to the page where it's gonna be asking you for your credentials, your username and your password. But for those of you that are about to create the account, we need to click here on register. That's gonna bring us over here, register for courses or for CourseSites. And just like we do applications online, it's gonna be asking you for your first name, your last name, your email address, to confirm your email address, the country, and then where it says register as over here, you're gonna see two options, professor, instructor, or student. So of course, you're going to select professor instructor, okay? And then make sure that down here where it says verification, you click the box that says, yes, I agree to the terms of use. The second box over here where it says, sign me up for emails, that's optional. I usually don't check this box, but I will leave it up to you. And then the last box over here, I am not a robot. You need to check this one. Unless you're a robot, then you don't check. The next thing over here is the same page, but I had to take up like 3 pictures because it was too much information, but we're still in the same page. And you're gonna scroll down a little bit and you're gonna see over here that it says institution organization. When you start typing or when you click here, it's gonna give you some options. If your institution or organization is not here, you can type it. That happened to me. When I was creating my account, my organization, it wasn't here, our school district. And so I just typed it in. So you will type that information if it's not here. And then what you're going to do, the organization type. And on the organization type, when you click, you're gonna see this window over here. You will select the best option for you. In my case, what I did is I selected the one that says further education. Then down here, it says create an account. You're going to create a username and a password. My recommendation always is, if you already have a username and a password for another program or web page like Instagram or other pages that you might use, okay, you might want to try that first. Try the username and the password, and if it works, perfect, because then you don't have to create new ones, because you know what happens when we create too many usernames and too many passwords, we tend to lose them, right? So I know that for the password, they're gonna be asking for 10 characters. And then over here where it says confirm password, you will just confirm your password, okay? Where it says current role at institution, you're gonna see this window drop down. And from this menu, you're going to select the current role. What I did is I selected the one that says distance learning or e-learning because I am creating an learning course. So this is the one that I selected. You might want to select this one too. And then here at the bottom, once again, verification, you need to click on the checkbox over here. Yes, I agree to the terms of use. And if you want to receive emails from them, you can check the box or you can uncheck the box, okay? And that's gonna bring you over here. So when you click here, this is where you're gonna be entering your username. This is the sign in. You're gonna enter your password and you're gonna click on sign in. And once you sign in, okay, you will have access to CourseSites. I'm gonna stop here for a minute or two, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to go to CourseSites and create your account. That's if you want to follow the PowerPoint presentation, okay? It's optional. But if you want to, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a minute or two, and that way you can create your account with CourseSites. And this will be the perfect time. If you have questions, please let us know at this moment what questions you might have from what we have covered so far. You can type it in the chat, please.
And Mario, while we're doing that, everybody, I'm going to watch the time. So please do this. Take this opportunity to create an account if you would like.
So for those of you that this is the first time that you use CourseSites, as I mentioned before, this is something that I have used before, and it has helped me greatly. Every time that we start a new school year, I don't have to worry about the PowerPoint of the first day of class. of the forms that the students that they need to fill out. I create links here, and so when the students when they come in, I don't print copies ahead of time. I wait for them, and I have a printer there in the classroom, and so depending on the students that I have on that day, that's how many copies I do, or how many copies I run that day.
So let's see here. We're at 12:04. How did everybody do? Let's see if do a check mark if you were able to create an account. How did that go? Okay, good. We've got some yeses. Good.
Yay.
Yep. And I know that 4 people just joined us, and just FYI, the webinar started at 11:30. Okay, so we're going to keep trucking here. So just hopefully you can catch up. Okay, Mario.
Very good. So I'll continue. If you can come back to the PowerPoint presentation, let me go ahead and continue with this. So you have created the account already. You have your account. Great. So what we're going to do now, we're going to explore. We're going to explore an ultra course, and we're going to create a folder. And so when you sign in and when you click on courses, right here on the left, there's a navigation menu that says courses. When you click on courses, that's gonna bring you over here. In a minute, I'm gonna go to a live account so you can better see this. But this is a picture of how it's going to look. And so the first thing that it does, once you log in, it tries to give you a tour. And you're gonna see this purple circle over here trying to guide you. This is where you click if you wanna do this. This is where you click if you wanna do that. But what we're going to do, we're going to open an ultra course. And we're gonna open this one, Ultra Course 1. When we click on this ultra course, the course is going to look like this, empty. And we're going to be adding folders and content to it, okay? So we're gonna click on the plus sign over here. And when we click on the plus sign, we're gonna see this window. We're gonna click create. And when we click on create, we're gonna see this window over here with several options. Create learning modules, folders, documents, links. Because we are creating a folder, we're going to click right here where it says folder, okay? And we're going to name that folder. Here, I already typed a name, okay? Free writing, okay? You can just call it writing or journal or grammar or reading, okay? For the description, if you want to, you can add a description. That is optional, okay? And then you just click on save and you have created a folder. Let me show you. So I'm gonna come to CourseSites, okay? I already signed in, okay? Let me go ahead and sign out so that way you can see this is the page where you sign in, you enter the username, you enter the password, and you click on sign in. That is gonna bring you here to the welcome page of CourseSites, and you're gonna come over here to courses, the navigation menu on the left. You click on courses, and something that Miss Anne-Marie pointed out to me, I was not paying attention to this, was the ultra courses. They have colors over here. And the original courses, they don't. They just have a black or grayish color over here. So today, okay, if you notice, this is the 10 course shells that you will be getting with your account. 5 of them, course 1, ultra course, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are your 5 ultra courses. And down here, these are the original courses, which we talked about last week. Okay, 5 courses. So it's a total of 10 course shells. And then this one is a sample course here that already has material for you. So that way you can view the material and see how they have organized that. I'm gonna open this one, Ultra Course 2. This one, I wanna show you, on this one, I build content. In a minute, I'm gonna show you how to build this content. But on this one, if you notice, it has a navigation menu over here on the left, which has a link for the roster. When your students have already joined your class, if you click on this link, that's gonna bring all of your students over here. Okay, so you will see the roster here. You can create groups. You can close the course, or you can open the course from here, from this link to your students. They also have what they call Collaborate, and it's very similar to what we're using right now with Zoom, where students, you can join with your students and they can have a video. They can also chat. So you can communicate with your students using this tool right here. I'll give it 5 seconds to upload. Here it is. So very similar to what we're using. I was using this before COVID-19, the pandemic, because the limit of students or of people can be here, it was up to 100. But then people started abusing this. And so they cut the number from 100 to 10. And so now I'm using Zoom. But if you want to meet on one-to-one, or if the limit is no more than 10, you can use this option here where it has a microphone, camera. Also, you can chat with your students and you can upload documents here. So you can talk to your students here. It's just optional, okay? And then you have the attendance, announcements, tools, questions if you want to add a bank of questions here. And then once you have created your folders, let me go ahead and show you very, very quick, because I want you to learn how to create folders. So I have a folder here for syllabus, okay? And so your students can click here and they can download the syllabus. I have another folder here for technology, where your students can click over here and they can have access to technology, to writing, vocabulary, videos, and assignments. Once you create your content, your folders, you can view this from the student perspective, as I mentioned before, by clicking on this link over here that says Student Preview. If you click on this link, you're gonna see this window, Start Student Preview. You click on Start Student Preview, and now you can view content from the student perspective. And so that way you'll see what your students are gonna be going through when they click on, let's say, this folder right here. You created a link already, and so they click on the link, and what are they gonna see? They're gonna see this document right here that you have prepared for them already. And so you get to navigate through the course as a student, okay? If you send them an announcement, it will go straight to the calendar, and the icons that you see here, the second icon, that's a calendar. And so whatever announcements you give to your students, they will be posted here, okay? I don't wanna spend too much time on showing you what I have created. I wanna spend more time on showing you how to create this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here to my presentation, okay? And I'm gonna give you a minute or two so you can create a folder, okay? Let me show you something because I skipped that part. So, okay, Mario, you said that I am going to click on an Ultra course. I open an Ultra course, Mario, okay? And so how do I create a folder, Mario? Because I forgot. So you see this plus sign right here? You're gonna click on this plus sign and you're gonna see this option here. Create, copy content, upload. You're gonna click where it says create, okay? And then you're gonna see this menu on the right. We are creating a folder. So we're gonna click where it says folder, okay? And then we're gonna give it a name. It's gonna give you this name. It's gonna give you today's date, okay? But you can change it, okay? Let's go ahead and put here reading. And then the description, that is optional. You can add a description here if you want to, or you can leave it blank. And that's basically what you need. Now, all you have to do is just click on save, and you have created a folder, okay? So now I am going to give you a minute or two so you can go to CourseSites, click on an Ultra course, and create a folder, okay? And then let us know, like Miss Anne-Marie said, we'll give you a minute or two, and then let us know in the chat, done or created the folder, so we can continue with the presentation.
Mario, when people
Yes.
are writing their questions, and I just wanted to double back because Claire actually agrees with me.
Oh, okay.
That feature of where you can do the actual webinars, you know, where you can only have 10 people. I think that's a really good option for distance learning students. If you want to have one-on-one sessions with them, or also like a small tutoring group. So keep that in mind, everybody, if you want to use that option, because I think there's a lot of room for things there. And you saw the question from Ashley. Can you model that one more time, she said.
Yes, yes, yes. Create the folder. Yes. So if you can see my screen right here, okay. Let's say that we are going to create a folder. I already created this one, and if you already created one, there's going to be a plus sign here. Okay. Let me go ahead and delete this one so I can start fresh here. So it's going to look like this, and that plus sign that you see here at the bottom, very, very small. If you click on it, okay, you're gonna see a menu. From that menu, you're going to select the first option, create. You click on create, and then you're gonna see this option over here. We have several options, but I wanna concentrate on this one, folder, because I want you to be able to create a folder. So we're gonna click on folder, and then from here, we just need to give it a name. It can be reading, writing, journal, technology. I'm gonna type technology. Technology, okay, just to give it a name. And then on the description, it will be optional. If you want to add a description, you can add a description. And if not, you can leave it blank. And then you just click way here at the bottom. You see a button that says save. You click on save, and that's it. You have created a folder. I hope I answered that question. And if not, please let me know.
Okay, let's see if there's, okay, did we answer Rita's question? I'm in Blackboard. From there, where do I go to create a folder? That's a question. Did we answer that one? Hello?
Yes.
Did you hear that, Mario, the question? I'm in Blackboard from Rita Cardenas. Where do I go to create a folder?
Okay, if you are here in the, let me go back to the main menu. So if you are here, we're working with the ultra courses. Okay, I already have content on this one, so I'm using course number 2, but you can use this one. Okay, it really doesn't matter which one you use from the ultra courses because they are all empty shells. So I'm gonna use this one, ultra course 2, and then this is going to open. I just created this folder, so let me start fresh. So it's going to look like this when you open that ultra course. It really doesn't matter which one you open. They are all going to look like this. And you just click on the plus sign right here at the bottom, plus. And then from the menu that opens, you click on create. And then from this menu that opens on the right, you're going to click where it says folder, okay? Remember to give it a name, okay? I just added technology. You can add your own title here. It's optional. And then from description too. Description is optional. You can leave it blank or you can add here, this is the class for technology tools.
Thank you. And Mario, and I understand Christy's question now. Christy, I apologize. You asked this earlier. She asked, what happens when the teacher clicks on reset instead of exit on student's view? I thought you were talking about Zoom. You were talking about CourseSites.
Okay, when we are from the student perspective, is that what you mean? If we are here, all you have to do when you come back, okay, you can close it right here on the X, or if you see an icon over here on the right on the ribbon, with that little icon, there's like a face of a little person there with glasses, and there's 3 buttons there. We call those the more button. When you click there, you have the option here to just exit preview. That's from the student preview. And so that's gonna bring you back to the instructor preview here, so you can continue adding more folders and then adding content. I hope that's what the question was. And if not, please let us know.
Okay, she says, Christy says, if the teacher is viewing the page as a student. Christy, I'm not sure, did that clarify the question? I'm still not sure we understand the question. I'm sorry.
And we can come back. We can come back to this.
Yeah,
and
let's go ahead. Yeah, because we're at 11 minutes, Martha.
Okay. So so now is your turn, sorry. Let me see, your turn over here to create a folder. Some of you might have already created a folder. If you can please let us know so I can continue with the presentation. So once we created a folder, now we need to create content in that folder. How do we create content? Well, what we're going to do is, because we created this folder right here, okay, free writing, we're gonna click in this section. And when we click in this section right here, this section down here is going to open. And from this section, we're going to click over here on create. When we click on create, you're gonna notice that it's gonna be like a repetition. We click on create and this window comes again. So we don't want to create another folder right now. Let's say that we want to create a link because we're using a web page with our students. And so we want to create a link to that web page. Let's say that in my case, I created a link to a Google document that I am using that is online. So I am just going to get that link and paste it over here. Okay, so I am going to click on link. I am going to first name that link. Okay, I'm gonna give it a name. It can be typing, technology, writing, okay? And very, very important, I need to get that URL. Just like I show you from typing.com, we need to get that URL, okay? And we need to paste it here. Once we paste it here, and I'm gonna show you in a minute how to do this, then we're gonna click on save, and that's it. We have created a link to that folder, okay? So content has been added, okay? Let me show you. So I'm gonna come back here to my Ultra course. Let's say that I want to add content to technology, okay? This folder right here, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and click in this section, okay? And notice this menu that I just opened. I'm gonna click on create. And then from the options, I'm going to click on link. I click on link. I give it a name. Let me go ahead and use here. It can be whatever link you're using. I'm gonna use USA Learns. And so I need the URL from that page. I have that page open over here already. And remember, don't just type usalearns.org. It's better if you right click, select copy, go back to CourseSites, and now right here on the link, paste it. So I paste it, and remember, we didn't see those letters right before, HTTPS. So very, very important, okay? And so now I just click on save and I have created a link. I'm gonna show you how that looks from the student perspective. Let me close this page because it's already open. And so I'm gonna come, oh, I need to open this. If you notice, because we are building this, everything is hidden from the students. So if you want your students to be able to see this, okay, because I have it hidden from the students, if I go to student preview, notice what's gonna happen, okay? There's no content here, because everything is hidden from the students because we are building this. So that's one option that we have there, okay? Let me go ahead and open it. So I came back to the instructor preview over here, and I'm gonna make it visible to the students, okay, the folder. And then the link, I have to do the same thing. Right here where it says hidden from students, I need to click visible to students, and now my students can see the content. So if I come over here, and that's why I like this feature over here, because that way you get to check the material that you are uploading or that you're creating. Notice, now the students have access to this, so they're gonna click on technology, the folder. That is going to open the link to USA Learns. I'm gonna click on USA Learns, and here it is. And so that's how you create a link. I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here.
Okay, so Mario, Melissa helped clarify, and again, we may, if you want to wait till the end, and then Christy and Melissa, or Christy can stay on. Melissa said there's an option above exit that is reset. What happens is what Christy is asking in student view. So when you're in student view, I think that's the question.
Okay, and it's reset. Oh, when I click over here, reset preview. Okay. All course activity in student preview will be removed. Are you sure you want to reset the preview? That means that as a student, when you log in as a student, you can, if you create an assignment, you can be uploading assignments. So you'll see how students upload assignments. And so because you are creating content as a student, do you want to erase all that content that you created? And so that's what they're asking. Do you want to reset the preview so everything can be erased from the student preview? And I will click on reset so you don't use too much memory here. And I believe that's what she was asking, and that's the option there. Very similar to, yes, original courses. Thank you.
Excellent question, Christy. Thank you for being persistent with, and she said yes. And then Piedad had a great question. So do the students have to create their own accounts?
Yes, and what you do is you send them a link. you send them a link, and with that link, they're gonna create an account. Just like you, or just like I show you how to create an account, they're gonna get the same step. They're gonna be creating their account. They're gonna add their username, the password, and because you send them that link, they're gonna be added automatically to your class. So all you have to do is just send them a link, and to do that, let me show you. If you click right here where it says roster, and it says view everyone in your class or your course, okay, there's going to be a plus sign over here on the right next to a magnifying glass. If you click on that plus sign, this is where you see the option that says invite students. And so you type the emails of the students. You can type as many emails as you have there for your students. Just make sure that you separate the emails with a comma. And when you send them this, the picture that you see right here in the middle, it says message preview. This is what they're gonna be receiving. You are invited. In my case, it's Mario Ortiz invited you to join Ultra Course 2. And then there's a little button here that says enroll. And so they just click on enroll, and that's gonna bring them over here to that registration page. I hope I answered that question.
Okay, so this is another great question. Loretta asks, what if you don't have a student email? You communicate with student via Remind. Can you send the link through Remind? I'm not sure.
I have never used that as a message to them. They always have an email in my classes. That's a very good question. I'm gonna look into that. My students, when they come in, the first thing that I ask them is, please create a Gmail account. And so everybody has a Gmail account. If they have their own email account, that's perfect. But I only use this with email addresses.
And I think Remind has the option to send links, if I'm not mistaken. I believe you can attach a link. Loretta, we have a Tech Intel. Yes, and Ashley's confirming. Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you.
And yeah, because Ashley's done many Tech Intels. And I believe that we still have Tech Intel on Remind in the PD portal. But I would experiment with that, Loretta, and see what happens. And Ashley is saying, yes, you can. So you can send a link through Remind.
Very good, because students can also do this from their phone. If they have a phone or a tablet, they don't necessarily need a computer to view a Blackboard. So yes.
Yeah, great question, Loretta. That's a great question, because we're all doing certain things.
Yes.
Well, but then Ashley says, I'm assuming you still need an email to access your class on CourseSites, though.
Exactly, because when you create the account, they're gonna ask you for an email. So you do need an email.
Yep, and maybe setting up a Gmail account, a free Gmail account that they can access, on their phones. If they don't have a computer, they can still access Gmail on their phones. That may be things. Because you are all interested in using this, or you've created an account already, as many of you have, like Randy and others, would it be helpful if we started a question and answer in the PD portal in the Tech Intel community of practice for everybody? And maybe Mario could come in and jump in and look at the questions and answer them. Would that help? Okay, good. Mario, I can show you how to do that.
Okay, please.
We have a free community of practice called Tech Intel Community of Practice. You just have to go in and start following it, just like you do on Facebook. And then I'll start a folder or a topic. It's called a topic, and it'll say CourseSites. And then Mario can come in and look at the questions. And you also can talk to one another, because this is one of those things where you really need a community, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we are at 12:30. How much more do we have, Mario? This has been a really interactive one today. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, we have a couple of slides too, but basically the main point here was to create an account, create a folder, and add content to the folder. And so after this is just creating more folders, and adding content to those folders. That's basically what I was going to be covering. But unfortunately, we have run out of time.
Let's do this. Let's do this. And just Mario's going to go fast forward a little bit to the last slide because we do have exciting news. Do you want to show them? How many more minutes can we stay on? Can we stay on for another 5 minutes? I know Maria can stay. Can people stay on for another 5 minutes? Mario, hold on. Let's go back. What would you like to show them, Mario, that you think you may want to show them? And I think maybe cloning would be good. But
Yes,
you
yes,
decide. You decide.
yes. That's something that was pending on Friday. They asked me if there was let me go ahead and come back to courses. If there was a way, once you create a course, let's say that you have an original course like me over here, and if you go to content over here, you already built a class. And so you want to copy this class for next semester or for next school year because you don't want to be using this one right now. You just want to start another one, but with the same folders. So if you want to clone a class, okay, let's say this one right here, and let me go ahead and show you one that is empty. This one, 11. This one is, if I click on content, is empty. So I'm gonna clone this one, number 7, okay? And it can be to any class, any course, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're going to open that course that you have with content. And if you notice on the navigation menu down here, we have a link that says packages and utilities. If you click here, you're gonna see options. And from those options, you have course copy and you have export. Course copy is if you want to copy that within your account, like what I'm doing right now. I'm copying from 7 to 11, but that's my account. If another teacher has a different account and she wants the same content that you have, then you will use export. So let's do this one first, course copy. I'm going to click on course copy. That's going to bring me over here to this window. And so where do I want to copy this to? Notice my browse button over here. I'm gonna click on browse and I'm gonna get all of my courses, okay, from my account. So I'm copying 7 to number 11 over here, okay, to original course 5, okay. And so I click on the radio button and then I click over here at the bottom. I have cancel and submit buttons. I'm gonna click submit and then it's gonna ask me, okay, so what exactly do you wanna copy? Let's say that we just wanna copy the content. That means the folders that I have, okay? I don't wanna copy the work from the students and I don't wanna copy the announcements, okay? And the rest of the information, just the folders and the links. So I just click here on content area, make sure that I select these 3 boxes, okay? And then here at the bottom, I have 3 options. The second option, copy links and copies of the content. Make sure that you select this and then click submit, and that's it. If you notice up here, it says success, okay? It says that you will be receiving an email letting you know that everything got processed, but if you give it a couple of seconds, let me go ahead and close this one, and let's open 11, okay? Right here, original course 5, and remember it was empty. So I'm gonna click on content and here it is. Everything from that course, from 7 or original course, it got transferred over here to this course. So that's how you copy within your account. Now, if you want to export, let's come back again over here to original course 1. Okay, remember that link, packages and utilities. This time you're going to click where it says export. Archive course. You click on it, okay? I've done this before, so that's why I have these links over here. Okay, so it's this one over here. All I have to do is just click on the link. I click on the link and that's going to download. I don't know if you can see my screen at the bottom on the left-hand side. So it's a zip file. And all I do with this is I just save it. I can save it to a USB. I can save it to my desktop. And then I can just send it to that person that wants to clone that class, and they will just import it to their class. So this is how you clone a class within your account, and this is how you export a class. And it can be exported to other LMS. I have used Angel, and I have used Canvas. So you can export it at least to those two. I can confirm, okay, because I have used those before.
And this is a very good transition. I'm jumping in here. This is a very good transition to what's coming up. So everybody get out a Post-it note and mark this down because we've got really exciting news. And that is this. Let's go to slide 65. Let's go to the next one. Mario is going to be back in July to present on the free version of Canvas. What do y'all say about that? I'm excited on July 24th, and registration will be available in the PD portal. So you'll have another option to see another LMS. So we're really excited.
Yay.
And yay. And this was asked for by many of the directors across, well, not many, but several directors asked about CourseSites, and so we were able to do that. And other people had asked about Brightspace. And as we close out today, I just kind of want to remind everybody that, and I know you all appreciate this, anything that we feature on Tech Intel or any of the webinars actually has to be a free resource. We can't feature anything that is not free. So Brightspace is another LMS that is used by colleges and corporations actually, but it's not free. And they give you a 30-day trial and then you have to pay for that. And that's no fun, right? I mean, no. If you're interested in Brightspace, you'll have to contact them and find out about that. Everyone have a wonderful weekend, stay safe, and continue to be AEL strong.